Hi.
Hello. I'm trying to connect my Bluetooth to this again, and it's not. Why is this? It says connected.
Can you see Winston right now?
Let me
Oh, never mind. He was draped over my arm like a baby.
buddy, he's so cute. Why is I just have these connected, my Bluetooth. I'm in Panera. That's why I'm like,
It's a pain in the butt.
now it says that it's connected, but
Yeah, I can hear you.
well, you know what? Oh well, I guess everybody else is gonna hear the conversation. There's nobody around anyway.
Just the doggo
Right.
and Mr. Wynn. So tell me how your week went.
It went good. I shouldn't say it went good. It was like it's like this push-pull. It was like this push-pull week for me.
Okay, how so?
So, I think because I'm becoming more aware of and paying more attention to my thoughts. And so I'm like, for instance, I'll give you a couple for instances.
Yeah.
Like with, let's see, where do I start? Okay, the eating, like my nutrition and stuff. I haven't tracked for like 2.5 weeks now, which has been awesome, right?
Yep.
I'm enjoying like making like good healthy foods, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put this in it and that in it. I don't have to worry about measuring anything. I'm just gonna, do what like what's good for my body and what I'm like craving, you know what I mean? Like fruits, whether it be freaking, ice cream cone or whatever.
Yeah. And like carbs versus fats, like some days you want more fats, like.
Right. Like other days I was like, the protein was like, I want a salad, but I don't really want any chicken in it. You know what I mean? And other days I was like, yeah, I think I need some more protein. But then the thoughts started to creep in of like, I started having this fear of gaining weight, after coming off of prep. And I was like, because the last time I got off prep, or the last time I reversed like out of, after my competition, I did not do well at all, like at all. And, I binged a lot. So this time it was like I would have something and I would kind of feel like in my stomach, I would be like, like maybe I shouldn't have eaten that because I don't like feel that good, or maybe I shouldn't have eaten as much. Maybe I should have stopped like after I had this much, you know what I mean? And I started to, but the good thing is that I was like, okay, this is what they're talking about. Like, no, I'm not going to feel bad about it. I just need to pay attention to what my body's telling me. And next time, like, realize that when I eat this is how it makes me feel, and like, I don't know, like there's times when I'm like, there's been a couple times where I'm like, I'll eat something and I'm like, why did I eat that? I didn't really like want it or need it. You know what I mean? That type of thing. So there's that kind of stuff going on. The good thing that I noticed is that my digestive system is back to like functioning the way it used to, which is like really good. That's a good sign for me, because before it was like I was not having, going to the bathroom as often. And like when I was like gassy and bloaty and like, now I've noticed this past week, it's become very regular and good and healthy, and bowel movements, and which is like, I'm sure you're used to hearing this kind of talk. We talk about bowel movements at my work all the time, so but yeah, going like 3 to 4 times a day sometimes, and I'm just like, hey, this is good. So that's a good thing. The other thing that I found myself like struggling with was on the like spirit alignment day and even the mind alignment day. I was like, okay, I need to get this done, right? And I would get to the end of the day and I'd be like, I still have to journal, or I didn't read. I gotta read. You know what I mean? So like I was kind of back in that like to-do list, like my day is a to-do list. And so I found myself having to really like just kind of like stop that thought process and like bring myself back to, and actually there was one day that I was like, I started to journal before I went to bed, and I was like, dude, I am so freaking tired. And I literally wrote 3 sentences and I was like, that's it. That's all I got. I have to go to bed. I have to go to sleep, So just like that feeling of like, okay, I didn't do as good as I wanted to today,
Yeah.
And being like, telling myself that's okay. Like it's okay. It's like not the end of the world, So, we'll do it on another day. We'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are going to be really good, like talking points for us today. Then
yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Because I know last week we were more based on like the emotions and trying to figure out where we can regulate them. And it seems like you're very, like you have that increased awareness that you're speaking into right now, which is, that's really good. And that's like, gosh, that's a freaking gift. So that means we are slowing down. We're being a little bit more introspective, and we're asking ourselves these questions. We're remaining curious rather than assuming, keeping the doors open and wondering what's on the other side rather than closing it because we don't want to look at it, you know? Yeah. So the intrusive thoughts around the foods, but enjoying the food freedom. And you kind of are relating these feelings that you're having now, freaking cat, tornado, hair, gosh, to the, and tell me if I'm wrong, the deprivation, right? That's the kind of the word that we use from was it like calories or specific foods after the show, or what was it?
So it wasn't specific foods. Like it was always like following macros, following a certain number of macros.
So overall, just like calories in general.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, the truth really could be that you were deprived of essential things that you needed, and your body sent you those signals. And in a short amount of time, you had to get back to a state where your body knew that you're going to be able to give it back these things, but it didn't know how to utilize them as well as it did before. So you probably felt a little bit of different things. So your body truly is working for you. It is very resilient and it's very smart, and it's usually a step ahead. So in that, that retrospect, it goes for us as long as we're giving it what it needs to keep going. And so that is definitely something. I mean, we can look back and say, it's this fault and this fault, and this is the problem. But when it comes down to it, if we really look back at it, we were deprived of these things. And the body was telling us, like, we need these things. Like, we need these calories. We need this energy. There's things like not working at their utmost ability is optimally functioning so that we can continue to produce healthy cells that are trying to, what is it, apoptosis, right? No, that's cell death and then recreating. So,
Oh, yeah.
yes. So, once in a while I get a word that comes out and I'm like, oh, holy shit, it's still in there.
It's been a while since I took that class.
That happens to me all the time. I'm like, oh my goodness, hey, word. So
You sure that's fishy?
he does not keep it PG. I'm sorry. So when the cells are dying and they're being reborn, we want to allow the body will tell us what it needs in order to make that happen. And we want healthier cells as our lives go on, or we at least want to maintain them. So when we're putting junk in, or we're restricting and depriving, we're diminishing our cells and producing more so like discounted cells or similar cells as to what they are now. And that governs our whole body. I mean, just like the neurons in your brain, in your central nervous system, they form synapses that like will create a similar path that's, governing the same outcome every single time you get this one emotion or this one thing that you see, this thing that you perceive, and it registers the same and your body reacts the same to it. So what we want to do is we want to just remember that the body does work like this, and that this is actually a good thing. Even though it came with that result that we weren't in favor of, the body eventually did align, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's really, really smart. And so we have to try to get out of that mindset of that it's not responding when it really truly is responding. It just needs to get its mojo back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I am noticing like I'm finally starting to feel like not as inflamed. I still and it's always like my lower body and my hip flexors. Like I have a this nagging injury on my left hip flexor. So like when I was doing,
is it a pinch?
It's not a pinch. It's just like really there's the mobility is not there because it's been injured. So it's like tight and it's probably weak.
Yeah.
So when I was doing, this was the other thing, when I was doing like the yoga stretch, which I don't even know how I found that. I clicked something and I was like, oh my gosh, like look at all these other workouts and like there's a yoga workout in here.
This flow.
Yeah, I was like, this is cool. So I was like, I'm like, because it's just like, I just wanted something that wasn't freaking hour and a half, 90, 69. I just wanted to like something to stretch, and to move. And so I did that and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so freaking tight. Like how did I lose this? I'm not flexible right now. And I started to get mad at myself, like impatient. It's almost like, it's like when you're starting to compete and you're like working out and you're working so hard and you're building muscle and you're like, I just want to hurry up and get there, like right there. And that's what I want to look like. You know what I mean? And so that was one of those moments I was telling you about at the beginning of the call I was like, well, okay, that's okay. Like it was like I accepted like how I was in the moment. And I'm like, I'm doing something good for my body right now. And it's okay that like I'm not as mobile or flexible right now as I want to be. I will get there. Like just, be patient and feel the stretch. And like, so that was a very, I don't know, eye-opening for me because I was like, because, it's not like you're sweating up a storm or anything. You're still and you're stretching and you're like, okay. So, yeah.
Getting yourself to breathe and all of these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
really good way to set yourself up for something like that. If you feel like you're lacking flexibility in your body,
Mhm.
that's a good indicator that we're also lacking flexibility in our mindset. So if we're going to go ahead and start, doing this and start to, blame ourselves and shift, a little bit of guilt, and maybe you're thinking like, oh, I really should have taken care of this better,
Mhm.
or I just, I'm a bodybuilder. I should be able, my muscles should be able to work and should be able to move and da da da. So we go into that, like that little spiral there where we're trying to justify, we're like, yeah, well, we did this, so we should be able to do this. But that's, sometimes that's not the case. There's specific thresholds that the body's going to allow us to do stuff. And
Yeah.
especially in this alignment system where we're moving a little bit differently, you're going to be challenged for sure. Your
Oh,
will is emotionally and physically will absolutely be challenged. Um, so I would say if we know that biologically and scientifically, nose breathing increases nitric oxide in the blood, and more nitric oxide in the blood and the body is going to relax um, all of your all of everything that goes into your breathing. So all of your vessels, all of these things, it's going to relax your body into creating. So it's not touching, nose breathing does not touch parasympathetic. It does not touch sympathetic nervous system. It just creates more openness within the body to receive.
oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So what we can do is, if you want to, try some pranayama or Wim Hof breathing.
All
A
right.
lot of nasal breathing,
Okay.
and there's a lot of like one-sided or just straight up like they do like I think it's a like a fire breathing or dragon or something like that, and it's very like,
Okay.
and you're really getting into like making that intensity, and you're going to get uncomfortable. You might get a little bit lightheaded, things like that. But make sure you're just in a really grounded place, and take your time with it. Be gentle on yourself and work into it. But I feel like that will help you. If you have a problem with you want to be more mobile, more flexible, it might just be getting your mind into that situation, into that scenario, to be more flexible alongside of your body.
Okay.
And
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I was actually going to ask you about the breathing, because
yeah,
I was like, well, what kind should I be doing? Like I did like a 10-minute guided, it was box breathing.
cool.
Yeah, because it said on there, like breathing for the central nervous relaxation for the central nervous system. So I don't remember what app I'm using. It's like, is it called Insight Timer
Okay.
is I'm using. Um, so they have like guided meditations on there and guided breathing. But that's what I was going to ask you about that, like what I should use.
Yeah.
So,
Aim for that nitric oxide hit with some nasal breathing. And I really think, and just, look up some stuff and find something that's around 7 to 9 minutes, 3 or 4 rounds, and really take yourself in there. The first session, you might be like, you're like, oh, snot's like flying out of my nose. I can't get a deep breath in. My head's kind of getting fuzzy because it's just kind of stirring some stuff up in there.
yeah.
And then when we hold our breath, we're increasing that carbon dioxide in the blood. So that's going to feel a little bit different inside of us as well. So, what we want to do here with the nitric oxide breathing is find something that when we get into like that second round or that third round, we're feeling like we are fully there. So that's coming with like the intensity, feeling okay with yourself, giving yourself the space to just kind of just be your breath. Don't worry about what you look like. Don't worry about what you sound like. Don't worry about your surroundings. Find a little safe environment, comfy, cozy, dark, light, whatever it may be. And just really get into it. And I think my biggest thing when I was coming through working with my breath, I was always so concerned about what I sounded like and what I looked like, because I was like, because you feel silly. But
Yeah.
when you really just let go and surrender to your breath and how
Mhm.
you can control it and manipulate it and create these sensations and open these pathways in your body, you won't give a fuck about what you look like. You're like, this is so fucking cool.
Yeah. I did enjoy like the breath work that I did today. I was, went to the metro parks and found a spot. Actually, the funny thing is like there was a bench there and there was a sign that talked about breath work. You know how they have those little signs on the posts, the wooden posts, and it was like, this is the breathing bench is what they called it. And I didn't sit on the bench, but I sat like on a tree, and it was like it was like a cliff and overlooking like the water. So I sat against the tree on the ground instead and did it there. And it was like I probably could have kept going, to be honest. It was only like 10 minutes, but about 10 minutes or so. But yeah, I definitely, that's definitely something that I want to dig into more, is the breathing.
Yeah.
Breathing technique.
And if you start to too, because I know like right at the beginning when I started breathing, like the end of last year, when I started really working with my breath work consistently,
Yeah.
that's when I really started to learn stuff. That's when I really started to feel the effects of it and the difference and the changes. And like today, I had a really, really incredible experience inside of my body. And I just like, I wish I could explain it better, but it was once I got into, you know, the first round, you kind of like, you're just kind of getting set up and you're like, okay, intensity, like good, cool. Like, you know, I'm breathing through my belly and I'm really letting it hang. I'm really pushing it out. I'm really sucking it in and really pushing it out. And you're really going like 0 to 100. You're really just escalating and de-escalating that breath, like all full throttle, not just sitting there going,
Right.
you're going, you know, you're really going for it. And
Okay.
creating that dynamic within your body that's just waking everything up. It's like, oh, holy shit, we gotta turn up right now. We're trying to turn up. So I actually, when I was sitting here, I had that heaviness in my hands. I could feel the ends of my hands tingling. I felt, you know, I felt that pressure in my third eye. And then I also found a pain in my my abs here, running along underneath my sternum through my ribs. And it was so bad. So when I went to, I did my round of breath, and then I went up in to hold for that 15 seconds. And this pain here was so strong that it made my mouth water and I was incredibly nauseous. So the emotional release from this pain after that, when I was done breathing, I was just able to just sit there for a second and kind of just open up to what had just happened. That pain literally dissipated.
Wow. That's
You're literally just speaking into your body with your breath and getting that blood circulating.
yeah.
And it's going to push stuff to the surface, and then it will also move it around. So then our job is to treat ourselves with kindness and grace, give ourselves space for whatever emotions that we're going to go throughout the day. We might not, we might have some highs and lows given those emotions that we might have released from wherever. And just a reminder that when you do feel intense things like that, or you start burping, or you yawn, or you start drooling or twitching or whatever it may be, like that is literal energy being released from the body.
Okay.
Yeah, just like if you were to sigh.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
that is your central nervous system in connection with your vagus nerve, like decompressing your central nervous system and regulating.
Okay.
So when you start to like put all of these biological sequences together, you start to realize how much power you really have over how you feel and how your day goes, how your mind works, and the thoughts that you let in and out of your head, and how you perceive everything around you.
So do you think then that like breath work would be a good thing to start my day with?
I absolutely think so. On an empty belly.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What about meditation? I don't know. I don't really know like where. Do you have any suggestions as far as like meditate, like guided meditation? Like
Yeah.
do I do it on my own, or do I listen to a guided meditation?
I love guided meditations. I can sit there and do it myself, but I love the guided meditations because I can get further in, if you know what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
can let go a lot more, unless I'm just literally meditating just to clear my head. And it's like, I'm just trying to chew everything out. Whatever comes in, I just imagine it in a box and me going like this.
Okay.
Yeah. Just really, really see it for yourself in there. You know what I mean? Really see it for what it is and do what you need to do with it. Like really visualize, really visualize. But for the meditation, like what sets you up for a really good meditation is doing that breath work and jumping right into the meditation. So if the breath work ends,
Uh-huh.
pop on some healing frequencies.
Okay.
And like the Pandora's got healing frequency channel. I use
Okay.
it all the time.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, and that's when I'll just sit back and I'll just kind of like feel the world out with my eyes closed.
Okay.
Or sometimes I'll lay down
Mhm.
and I will just try to do a full body scan in my meditation. Like if I'm doing it by myself, I will do a full body scan.
Okay.
Like, is my forehead tight? Are my eyes all the way shut? Is my
Okay.
jaw clenched? Where's my tongue at? Is my chin relaxed? How about my shoulders?
Yeah.
You
I've
know,
done
when
that.
was the last time I took a deep breath, not a shallow one?
Okay.
Okay. Do I have any pain sensations in my body? Where are my bones pressing against the floor? Can I make that go away? Can I, you know what I mean? Try
Okay.
to check in with yourself and try to bring awareness to all these parts of your body, especially the ones that are causing you some pain. And when you are doing that, when you take those big deep breaths,
Mhm.
try to breathe into those pain spots
Okay.
and just visualize the breath just going right in, swooping right by it, and just giving it some goddamn love or even pushing it away.
Okay.
Because we also have to visualize too, like what's going to happen, after, like say we are able to really take that pain and transfer it, that energy and transfer it somewhere else in the body. Like
Yeah.
if it does show up somewhere else, then we've still got more work to do, of course, um, but we also too, like, that's why I think I mentioned somewhere in there, like, if you are feeling like you've got those chronic injuries, like this is definitely, it's usually related to some sort of emotions, and your brain has already built a pathway that
Mhm.
whenever you do feel a specific emotion, that pain worsens.
Huh.
Uh-huh. So you're getting it all today, baby.
I
We
love
too.
it.
Woo.
I love it.
So
Okay.
yeah. It's like a movie. Um
Oh my gosh.
so what if you feel like you can't completely rid yourself of those emotions, if you feel like you're still battling them and maybe you're not feeling connected and you really are going through the highs and lows and it is beating you that day,
Mhm.
go get some like Reiki, acupuncture, some deep tissue body work, push it out. And it could come out, like I'm telling you, like when I speak about those purges, I'm telling you, like they are real purges. You'll see, you might, get a couple like pimples
Okay.
hormonally. You might have some emotion, you might just feel like you need to fucking cry, like a goddamn ugly gas cry, down
Yeah.
on your knees. Like I've done all of this already. So
Yeah.
uh, there was simple stuff where I just dropped, I got out of my shower after my cold shower and I just dropped to my knees on my floor and I just fucking grabbed my face and I fucking bawled for like 20 minutes. And after that, I felt like a whole new person. And
Yeah.
also the pain from the inside of my ankle or wherever I was feeling it, like was completely fucking gone. So this stuff is absolutely, like, if you just embrace your humanism and this human experience for what it is and treat yourself with kindness and understand that energy can be manipulated, not created or
Yeah.
destroyed. It can be moved around.
Right.
We can do that.
It's so freaking amazing.
Ain't it?
It's so amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, you also might get nauseous and throw up too, but
Well,
that's
it's
only happened to two of the women in the alignment system.
okay. Well, I'll
Yeah.
let you know. Hopefully, I hate throwing up, so
Sometimes that's what it
hey,
takes.
whatever needs to happen, right? Whatever needs to happen. But I mean, it's good because that's everything that I'm reading about in the Untethered Soul, right? Isn't that the name
Yeah.
of it? Untethered
Mhm.
Soul. Yeah, that's like, it's just like everything that you're talking about is lining up with what I'm reading right now.
Oh, like the timing in your book?
Yes.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
happened to me before, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yes. Yes.
It's like the universe kind of going,
Like letting it go, and about how, yeah. And about like the energy that you put out is what you get, is what you get back, is what you, so, and that we can manipulate it. I mean, we can, I mean, it's, yeah, it's crazy. I'm just like,
it's
wow.
developing that magnetism.
Yeah. So, wow. All right. Well, like,
I'm here. I know that was a lot. I know that was a lot,
okay,
but I am here.
I love it. I love it. I love that we can have, I love that our calls are actually have substance to them. You know what I mean? And
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
not great job, rah, rah, like keep on going. No changes, like just keep on going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love it. When does my like week start? Because I feel like I'm off with I'm like, am I behind on stuff? I don't know what's going on.
Let me look in here, honey. Let's see.
I'm like,
So
like,
we have, so taking power back alignment starts today. So second week starts today.
oh, it does.
Yeah.
I'm behind.
You are? Okay.
I think I'm behind. Yeah, because
Oh, no, sorry. I'm sorry. Let me see. Hold up.
okay.
I'm looking at the wrong day. Okay. So your second week, so week 3
Oh,
starts on Friday.
Okay.
Week 3 starts on Friday. I'm sorry about that. So
Okay. All right.
mind alignment day today, physical alignment day tomorrow. Looks like a mind alignment day on Friday. You've got set up, and then spirit, get out in nature, rest on Saturday. And then you've got 4 days, and then the taking power back alignment ends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to line it up so that because the spirit alignment day has like all of this, like the get out and play for an hour. Like there are things that I want to be able to have. I don't want to have to go to work and then just get that stuff in after work, because it's just like my week gets too crazy busy. So yeah. Okay.
I know we're beyond time, but do you have maybe like 4 or 5 more minutes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wanted to talk about the final thing that you had brought up. Let me see here. The checklist. So I tell this everybody that's on here, like there is a checklist feeling. Yeah. Cause I mean, you want to make sure that you're putting that, the intention in. So, and creating the ability to detach from each day and move on and just say, oh, I did it. Like I can let that day go into the past. It no longer exists, but this version of me exists now. And I get to open myself to a world of possibilities today. And yes, like within that 30 days, the alignment system does kind of feel like a checklist, but the checklist is like almost like a forcible movement that we can, again, like we can manipulate it. We make it all our own.
Yeah.
But it is there to teach you like, okay, what do I need to make more time for? One, which is myself.
Mm-hmm.
2, like the things that I'm setting myself up for allow me to ebb and flow through my day with alignment. No matter what's thrown at me, I know how to go through it in a calm, peaceful, encourageable way.
Yeah.
And then I know sometimes like it feels like, okay, we're doing this and this and this and this, and then it's the end of the day and we're like, oh shit, like I didn't really have any, my day was just kind of like on autopilot. So I don't really have much to write about. Write about it. Write about how you went through your day on autopilot.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's funny because like throughout the day, I'll think of things and I'm like, I'll have a thought and I'll be like, oh, I'll realize that I had that thought. And I'm like, I need to write this down. But I'll be like, I won't have, I'll be like in the middle of, I don't know, working with a patient or something, or, I'm like, I need to start carrying my journal around with me. That's what I need to do, because that's kind of, you know, yeah, I work better that way. I think sometimes where I'm just like, oh, I'm realizing this right now. I should write this down. But
Yeah.
I did like realize, I'm like, okay, I need to set more time aside in the morning before I go to work. Like, yes, I normally leave at this time. However, I don't have to.
Right.
I don't have to start at this time, which is really good. You know, that's a pretty darn good job to have. I can start at 6 or I can start at 8, you know, as long as I see all my patients, I'm good. So yeah, I definitely, I'm like, all right, that's going to be a new practice that I want to start in the morning before I leave, you know?
Yeah. And then at the end of the 30 days, you can decide whether this, like a cool shower, which I definitely think should be routine, just saying, but
Sure, yeah.
journaling and reading, you decide whether it is better off a tool or a routine, and then you find out where it suits you best in your day and serves you the best in your day. Are
Yeah.
we going to feel better reflecting about our day so we can have a whatever day that we need for the next day? Or are we going to be proactive and presume our gratitude and level of motivation and all of these things, you know, for the day? Are we one of those people that can hold on to that from our journal, or are we just kind of somebody that spits something out and kind of just goes with the waves? Or do we want to wake up and do something else more physical, move more, and then reflect at the end of the day how all of that went?
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I like to do my more sit down. I like to do my studying and my my writing and my reading in the beginning of the day,
Okay.
because it really brings me home, like center here. It really brings me home. I set myself up to value my energy throughout the day. I know how I want to spend it. I know exactly how I feel. I know, and I also can tell myself, you know, like if this happens in my day today, I can always come back to center base here, this totem that I hold in here so sacred, and like this energy, I'm not letting anybody touch. This is my ground. I can anchor to it, and that's good with me. You know, if I've got just that little bit for myself, I'm good that day, because while I go to sleep at night, I can recharge and my light will shine back up again. But so you find out whether you're more like, you know, presumably walking into your day with a setting, a specific setting, or just a setting of honors, beliefs, and values, or if you would like to reflect on everything that has happened in your day, because you'd rather be able to have a collection of your day, of your memories, your feelings, and your emotions, and get them down paper.
Okay. To play around with that. See. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been known to do both. Like I journal, but I will, you know, I use journaling as a tool. I journal every day, but some days I'm just like, you know, this morning I really don't have anything. But I am going to go ahead and set the tone for my body, you know, and then at night I get to journal about how, you know, that went, how that worked out.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah. So if that helps, let me know. Nasal breathing, going right into meditation, and then go right into your flow.
Okay.
Yeah, set aside an hour and just be like, this is my fucking hour where I can just like bing, bang, boom, serve the shit out of myself and feel like a goddamn priestess and fucking own it.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I'm looking forward to doing that.
That's right.
Ah, love it.
Hey, girl.
Okay.
Charge it up. You got this.
All right. Good call.
Good call.
Good call.
But yeah, I will, you know, if you need me, I'm in the app, go ahead and reach out, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon. I will check out your reflection and accountability summary on Friday too.
Okay. And so I submit that tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's tomorrow or Friday. It's fine. I think it comes up on your calendar on Friday, but I think it comes up. Yeah.
Okay. I thought so. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Right on. I hope you have a really good day, Becky. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Casey.
Bye.